Hey Posse, are you ready to bust a couple more myths? In this episode, we're going to address two common beliefs about white wine. The first belief is white wines can't age. The second belief is that White Zinfandel is a white wine. Come on, it's time to set the record straight. Let's go. The wine world is full of myths and false facts. Consumer education is gradually increasing, but still, some misinformation is floating around out there. I'm here to clear up some of the more obvious mistruths and misunderstandings surrounding the wine and aspects of the wine industry. I have a whole series of videos that bust some of these wine myths. Some episodes are more in depth, covering just one myth, but in greater detail, while others, like this one, cover several myths in one video and stay short and sweet. As we go through these myths, at any time, if you like what you hear, click like, subscribe, and hit the little bell so you'll be notified when there's a new post. Remember, the subscription is free. Also, make sure you share this with your friends to help dispel some of these myths. Are you ready to get started? Come on, let's go. The first myth goes like this. White wines can't age. Now granted, 90 to 95% of all wines are made to be consumed within the first 2 years. Now when it comes to the small percentage that are great for aging, red gets all the press. But it's important to know that some white wines can do well as they get some age on them. But most whites within several years will go flabby and taste sort of vinegary. Now like reds, the flavors and aromas of white wines will change with time. This depends on the varietal and how the wine was made. Now keep in mind, don't automatically assume that an older white wine will taste like vinegar. High acidic white wines age very well. Rieslings can age for decades. Semillons don't even begin to show their charm for 6 or 7 years. Some white wines coming out of Spain, of Lopez de Heredia, are terrific when 20 or 30 years old. Those are made from the Vieira and the Malvasia grapes. The wild card for age-worthy whites is Chardonnay. There are some Chards coming out of Burgundy, France that can age for quite a long time. Also, there are some coming out of California. As much as I want Chardonnays to age gracefully, it really depends on the vintage, producer, and really a little bit of luck. While some Chards can lay down for several decades, in my opinion, even the good Chardonnay shouldn't be expected to be great after more than 10 years. But still, that's a very reasonable lapse of time for its subtle, nuanced development. So, white wines can't age. So don't tell that to Riesling, Semillon, Vieira, Malvasia, and a boatload of high acidic whites. They can age extremely well and stand the test of time. Busted. How you doing there? Is this information interesting and helpful? If it is, right, this is great in the comments below. Okay, the next myth is White Zinfandel is a white wine. This can be a little confusing. I've seen people in stores looking for White Zinfandels and never buy the Zinfandel because it's not white. It's either pink or red. White Zinfandel is not a white wine at all. It's made from dark purple or black grapes and made into a pink or rosé wine. Now this is really interesting. Like many things in life, it was invented by mistake. In the early 1970s, a guy in California, Bob Trincheco, in his Sutter Homes winery in California, had been making his red Zinfandel wine from the black Zinfandel grape for quite a number of years. One day, Bob took some of the bleed off or free run juice, which was a light colored juice, sort of pink, and bottled it. A couple years later, he by accident decided to ferment it to off dry, which means it ended up a little sweet. It was a smash hit, and people began to refer to it as White Zinfandel. Many other producers saw the value of what Bob was doing, so they followed in his footsteps, and the rest, as they say, is history. So, White Zinfandel is white wine. Wrong. Busted. Well, there you have it. Aging white wine and White Zinfandel. Now, you're all set to discuss this with your friends at your next weekend gathering or wine tasting. Folks, remember, if you want to be certified as an Asti Wine Consultant official wine mythbuster, then just click the link in the description and fill out the form. I'm looking forward to this journey with you. Hey Posse, thanks so much for investing the time to watch this video. I trust it was helpful to you. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. And please consider hitting subscribe. Now, if you're interested in buying some wines, check out this link. We've got some wonderful discounts. And be sure to check out these other videos. Until next time, cheers.